Have you ever been in the middle of a crowd, everyone laughing, talking, connecting so easily, yet somehow you still feel completely alone? You're standing there with a drink in your hand, smiling politely, nodding along, but inside your head, one question keeps looping. Why does this seem so easy for everyone else, except me? If you've ever felt that way, listen carefully. It's not because you're weird, it's not because you're boring, and it's not because you're bad at socializing. The reason goes much deeper than that. And strangely enough, it's something that can actually be explained.
Many people grow up with a quiet belief that if making friends is hard, something must be wrong with them. Too awkward, too quiet, too sensitive, or on the other extreme, too intense and always overthinking. Over time, that belief becomes heavy because every social situation turns into more than just a conversation. You're not only talking to other people, you're also fighting the voice in your own head. And at that point, everything feels exhausting. What most people don't realize is this. Struggling to form friendships is rarely about a broken personality. More often, it's about how your brain and nervous system learn to protect you. And today, we're going to unpack that, slowly, logically, and without judgment.
Let's clear something up right away. If you struggle socially, it does not mean you are unlikable or unworthy of connection. Research shows that many people who have difficulty making friends share a few common patterns. The first one is a constant internal commentary. Did that sound weird? Should I have stayed quiet? What do they think of me? This is called high self-monitoring, and it often develops early in life, especially if social mistakes once led to criticism, rejection, or feeling misunderstood. Your brain learned an important rule. Be careful. One wrong move can hurt. The problem is, when you're busy monitoring yourself, you're not fully present. You're not connecting. You're performing. And even if people can't explain it, they can feel that distance.
The second pattern is more subtle, but incredibly powerful. It's what psychologists call the vulnerability paradox. Research shows that deep connection is built through vulnerability, through honesty and emotional openness. But if you've been hurt before, rejected, or emotionally unsafe in relationships, your nervous system doesn't see vulnerability as warmth. It sees it as danger. Think of your brain like a smoke detector. For some people, it's overly sensitive. The moment a conversation starts to feel personal, the alarm goes off. So you joke, deflect, change the subject, or suddenly go quiet. Not because you're fake, but because your body believes it's protecting you.
The third pattern shows up most often in people who crave depth. You want meaningful conversations, not surface-level talk. Small talk feels empty, forced, or pointless. The problem is, friendships rarely start deep. They start light. Small talk isn't the destination, it's the bridge. Refusing small talk is like wanting to swim in the deep end of a pool while refusing to walk through the shallow water first.
Now, here's the part most people never explain. This isn't just emotional, it's biological. When you enter a social situation and your brain detects potential rejection, your threat system activates. Stress hormones rise, your body goes into alert mode. At the same time, the part of your brain responsible for creativity, humor, and spontaneity gets dialed down. That's why your mind goes blank. That's why you feel stiff. That's why you leave thinking, I'm actually more interesting than that. And you're right, you are. But your nervous system didn't feel safe enough to let you access those parts of yourself. There's another important fact. Research shows that friendship requires time and emotional availability. You can spend hours around people, but if you stay guarded the entire time, your brain doesn't register it as bonding. What protects you from pain often also blocks closeness. So what can you actually do? The first step is the 70% rule. Stop waiting for the perfect thing to say. If you're about 70% sure you want to speak, say it. Yes, sometimes it will fall flat, sometimes it will be awkward. That's normal. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with presence. The second step is practicing curiosity. When your attention turns inward, instead of asking, how am I coming across, shift outward and ask, how did that feel for you? Or why was that important to you? When people feel seen, connection starts to grow. The third step is gradual vulnerability.
You don't need to share your deepest wounds. You just need to be human. Instead of, I'm fine, try, it's been a tiring week. That's not oversharing. That's honesty. The fourth step is reframing small talk. Small talk isn't meaningless. It's a ritual of safety. It's warming up before movement. From there, deeper conversations naturally emerge. And the fifth step is consistency. Show up in the same places. Do things regularly. Familiarity lowers fear, and your brain opens more easily to what it recognizes.
One important note: if you're neurodivergent or carrying trauma, this process may take more patience, and that's okay. And sometimes the problem isn't you at all, it's the environment you're in. I want you to remember this. You are not broken. Your brain simply learned how to survive, and now you can teach it how to connect. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You don't need to be endlessly charismatic. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to show up, a little more honestly, a little more consistently, one step at a time. Friendship is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned.